Hi and welcome to my channel. This is Virginia. Today we'll go over the new moon in Leo happening on July 24 at 3:11 p.m. Eastern Time. It's important to listen to the general first, as new moon is the what is gonna happen. In Leo is how is gonna happen, and checking your sign is where in your chart is gonna happen, like romance, work, etc. New moons always mark new beginnings as the sun and the moon meet, serving as a portal for the energies of their zodiac sign, in this case Leo, and planting seeds for manifestation of all Leo rule themes, what I call a real Lion's Gate, where both luminaries conjunct in Leo. And it hasn't happened on 8/8 since 2021, and every year is different because the claim alignment of the 8/8 with the sun in Leo, Sirius, the Orion Belt, and the pyramids of Giza is not astronomically accurate. It's just a symbolic narrative rooted in ancient Egyptian practices associated with the rising of Sirius and the Nile, which doesn't happen today. But astrology was a way to predict weather back in the days. But I was invited to be a bit less technical, so I'll skip the details. The point is that if you want to do a manifestation ritual, this is the time to do so. Don't wait for 8/8, that is a numerology based on a faulty calendar anyway. Now, Leo is associated with the fifth house of creativity, procreation, and recreation. It's the house of fun, anywhere from creative outlets and hobbies to romance and hanky-panky to children and play. Leo also rules regal figures and is the way we shine, but we shine in the way of our sun sign. Like I shine as a Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the occult, and I'm doing astrology, for example. And Leo is ruled by the sun, which also rules your heart, so it's about following your heart. And the moon rules Cancer, where we have Jupiter exalted, and the moon is parallel Jupiter, which acts as a conjunction, magnifying the energy of the new moon. So the way we feel is big and is supported by the universe. This is like the universe conspiring on your behalf if you follow your heart. Now, for the collective, this is a new beginning associated with following your childhood dreams. It's a time to do what you love. Now, this is at 2 degrees, 8 minutes, and the Semian symbol for this, we round it up to 3, and is a middle-aged woman with long hair in a braless, youthful garment. Representing the individual refusal to be bound by societal or biological standards. So this is a stand for independence, to free yourself and your spirit. The sun represents your soul. But the new moon is opposed Pluto in Aquarius, so we encounter resistance from others, either in the form of manipulation or envy. And this is a locomotive chart, and Pluto is at the head of it, driving the energy of the collective. So Pluto is a very important energy here. And we have to consider that wherever the sun is, from the perspective of the earth, will reveal the energies of its opposite sign. As from Helio, which is the sun's perspective, the earth is in Aquarius with Pluto. So we are dealing with a process of transformation. This energy is reinforced and is prompting us to change, but sometimes the resistance is ours and the others are just mirror, as when you change, the others have to change with you, or the relationships suffer changes. Especially because Chiron, the wounded healer, the place where we hurt and where we heal, is in a tense T-square with both the new moon and Pluto, representing relationships that get affected by this conflict. The tug of war between the new moon and the planet of death and rebirth. And both Sun and Chiron are moving slow, so we're taking our time with this matter. Now, the new moon is not alone in Leo because we have Mercury and it's retrograde, which is not bad. The worst of the retrograde aspect are the station periods where it doesn't go anywhere and it feels like stuck. But the retrograde is required to give things a rest, and all things RE, review, revise, reassess, reconsider, and if necessary to redo and correct that which is going in the wrong direction so we can redirect when Mercury goes direct. It's like the Shabbat for the Kabbalah. It's seen as a sacred time to realign with the divine energies, particularly feminine essence and to elevate the soul through contemplation, stillness, and unity with the divine. It's a pause from the mundane creation, allowing for a spiritual reflection, restoration, and reconnection to higher consciousness. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, our self-expression, where we find Uranus, the planet of upheaval, that is in a flow with this new moon. So when we follow our heart, we can shock others, but Uranus is in the apex of a grand sextile with the new moon and the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, another signature for manifestation of something new being in the sign of Aries. But they're retrograde too, both of them, another signature for revising plans, so what we dream can actually become possible. And the Saturn-Neptune conjunction is also in the apex of another grand sextile with Pluto, the planet of transformation, also retrograde, reinforcing the energy of reflection required for transformation, and Uranus, the planet of surprises, and the only outer planet direct at 0° Gemini, the air sign of the mind. So this is like an epiphany, but Uranus is in this place for the next 7 years. And both grand sextiles are forming a cradle configuration for new energies to come to life. So this is like the support of the universe. And we have Venus, also in Gemini, representing what we love, in a T-square with the nodes of fate, past and future, helping us make the decision to choose different, especially because it's also in a square with Mars, the planet of action and cutting, which recently connected with the south node of letting go. So we're leaving something behind in the sign of Virgo, which is usually criticism and perfectionism that hold us back. Virgo is also associated with work, service, health, and routine, so we're changing that which doesn't longer serve us, or things can be cut out of us if we don't let go, because the universe gives you the opportunity, it gives you the energy for you to take matters into your own hands. But when you resist that, the universe has no other option to do it for you. So this is where it's better to take initiative and channel the energy of the gods rather than let it manifest in its own way where you have no control. And for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this falls in your third house of communications. This is the house of education, learning, is the house of writing, is also the house of short distance travel like commute, and is the house of peers. But this is opposed the ninth house of higher education, teaching, foreign travel or foreign matters, and it's also the house of belief systems. And there is a new way of expressing yourself that might come in conflict with the philosophy or the beliefs of others. Or maybe you're done sipping it and you're starting to speak with your heart with that new moon in Leo in the third house. But you're ruffling some feathers and you find some resistance from the beliefs of others. Now, with Mercury retrograde, also with the new moon, you are going to reassess your communication style. There is also a possibility that you are writing something and there is a conflict with publishing, or that you are learning something and then you are being challenged to teach and you don't feel ready. So these are different scenarios that can show up in your life. In terms of communication, sometimes people go from biting their tongue to getting tired of it and spilling the beans, and they're lacking the happy medium. It's not so much about what you say, but the way you say it. And when you want to say something that is a little bit challenging, always a tongue-in-cheek approach is a lot more palatable when people don't know if you are being serious or if it is a joke. And yet the message gets conveyed anyway. So you don't want to swing the pendulum from one extreme to the other. Now, these aspects are in a flow with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the 11th house of the collective. So this has some kind of ripple effects that will impact your community, your group of friends or acquaintances. Now, because we also have Chiron and is at odds with this configuration, what you're putting out there strikes a chord. Alternatively, it might come across as healing, like if you say something that nobody else dares to say, but everybody's thinking. Now, Uranus in the first house of self and also Venus being there, it might be that you're expressing yourself with a new look, and it might come across as shocking. But with Venus at odds with Mars, what you want is not supported by your action. And with Mars conjunct the South Node in your 4th house of home in the sign of Virgo, your loved ones might feel that you're overly critical and nitpicking on every detail. This new moon is also at odds with the nodes of fate, past and future, but the North Node is in your 10th house of career and reputation in Pisces, raising the spiritual bar. So whatever you're doing, it has some significance. It carries meaning. And with Jupiter exalted in Cancer in the 2nd house of values, you might get more income as the result of a promotion or a better sense of self-worth for which you're daring to speak from your heart. I hope that gives you a better picture of how this new moon can play out for you. And if you want to know what I'm doing with this new moon, I will take the opportunity to present my new project. And this is the unboxing of my new book, and this is a book about you. Here will go your name, your natal chart, the table of contents, an introduction, my bio, your natal chart, 10 pages with all information about you that is worth it for a lifetime. Your numerology with your personality number, your soul number, your destiny number, your career number, your missing number, your initials, your vowels. Then your lunar progressions, that is like a chapter in your life with your natal moon and your progress moon. And then we have horoscope for a whole year. 1 month per page and 1 week per paragraph. And then you have other offers of my readings, my contact information, website, and social media. And that's it, folks. Contact me for your copy. And with that, I will leave you today. If you have any comments or requests, feel free to add them below. If you need a private reading where I can help you the most, go to astrologybyvirginia.com and know that I will never reach out to you, so be aware of scammers. It takes me some time to make these videos and a sec to like, share the love, subscribe for more, and hit the bell not to miss out. Thank you for your time. See you in the next one. Namaste.